All right. What is going on, y'all? Oh my goodness, it's playing on the back of my phone too. My bad. What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy Ja Lil. I said my full name, but I was giving all my nicknames. But it's your boy Josh, your boy Lil, Jay, Jalil, whatever you call me. Just don't call me late for work. You feel me? Um, but how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the Carter Love Talk Show. We are here after hours. I'm hosting tonight if it's not apparent. Uh, but I hope you already have some fun. This is pretty much going to be part two of the last hosting event that I did when I hosted. We're still going on our little villains run. So, appreciate you. I'm reading through the chat. I did not, I was running behind y'all. My computer I'm gonna be real with y'all. My computer's being a little wonky, but I'm here. I'm here. Tonight's spotlight. I will get that up. Don't worry. Y'all just gotta bear with me. I was rushing. But like I said, we here. We about to get it cracking, and y'all know how it normally goes with this. It's nothing changed. Everything is always the same. It's after hours, so y'all know how we get. It's me, Ja. Deshay is unfortunately very, very busy this evening. So, like I said, I'm hosting tonight. We're gonna have some fun. Everybody gonna be in the chat. So, make sure you get your comments ready, get your drinks ready, get your smoke ready, whatever you're doing. Just, get ready, kick back, relax. I hope y'all did not have a bad week. I hope this week was good for all of you. Make sure for those of y'all who are tuning in, you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get these notifications whenever we go live, whether it's the after hours show or any of the other shows that we also have on the Carter Love Network. So, with that being said, we can hop into it real quick. Let's go on with what y'all drinking. Everybody put in what you drinking. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm drinking in a little bit because I think it went on brand for what we talking about this evening. But make sure y'all post in the comments what y'all drinking, whether it's water, smoothies, teas, mixed drinks, straight liquor, whatever it is. Put it in the chat. Share with everybody. If you drinking a mixed drink, make sure you put in all the details so somebody can go make that later. Mocktails, whatever you doing, do what you're doing. And that's crazy because I'm not drinking an Incredible Hulk, but I got part of the ingredients for it. I got part of the ingredients for it, bro. Don't mind my fingers. I cut myself at work this week one too many times. But I got part of the ingredients. So this is what I'm on tonight. And I chose it because I thought it'd be very funny. Trust me, I'm not gonna down this whole thing. Not drinking this. That's not happening. This probably gonna sit up for a while because me and Hennessy make a lot of enemies. Um it's funny because like I said, tonight topics is about villains and what drink don't make somebody be the most villainous person they could ever be. It's look, shout out to Hennessy though. Hennessy is good. Any of the cognacs, they be smacking, but Hennessy be making people sitting there, somebody accidentally bump into you and the Hennessy be like, they forgot to say, excuse me. You turn around and try to go crazy on them real quick. You don't need that. But yeah, make sure y'all put in the chats. Got 2 weeks left of the sober living. Look, brother, hey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. Look, I'm happy for you. I did that earlier this year. Well, I did a full month in January. For those of y'all who was paying attention when this first started, this year I was doing a dry January. That first month was crucial. It was so crucial. But hey, congratulations for you, Ray. Keep it going. You only got 2 more weeks. You got this. Don't give up on yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing. So I'm drinking that water. Look, I got my water too. Because you got to make sure you stay hydrated. You can't just drink liquor the whole time. You gotta You gotta do something. You gotta save yourself there. Um, so like I said, I y'all give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hold on. My apologies if y'all see me jumping around too. I am working. I'm not working on here. Trust me. I ain't gonna mess this up. But uh, just checking my phone here and there because I do get messages for work related. So tonight, oh no, sorry. What are your highs and lows of the week, y'all? What are your highs and lows of the week? Let's go over that. Let's talk about it. If you got your highs and lows, put them in the chat. What was the best part about your week? What was the lowest part? You don't got to share everything. You don't got to be in detail, but also remember this is a safe space. Phil, if you feel like you can let it out here, let it out here. We're gonna hear you out. We can talk about that for a second. I would say who want to go first, but it's just me. So I'll talk about my low of the week. I was messing up my hands at work. I had a lot of lows, but I think this was my biggest low for the week was messing up my hands because if most of y'all know my job, I do maintenance. That's without maintenance, I can't do my maintenance job with my hands messed up. Like I got a cut right here. I probably got to do the tetanus shot. I got cuts on my finger. Dang near stabbed myself with right here, like cut myself here. I don't even know when this one happened. It's bad. So that was my low for the week because I couldn't really work as much. So although I'm not really supposed to, I got a team for that. That's actually supposed to do that I watch over. But it just felt a little weird when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, and I'm a very busybody, and I gotta make sure I do my job. And I like to stay active because I feel like if I sit for too long and I'm not doing what I learned to do or what I was taught to do, etc., I start to feel like, am I losing my touch? Like, let me get out here. Let me fix a couple blinds. Let me fix a couple toilets. Let me make sure the pipes under the sink is good and all that. Like, let me get out here and fix a couple ACs. Like, let me do something so I can remember what it is so I don't lose my touch. But that was my low for the week. What is my high? I guess I could say my high is I got my taxes done for before the 15th, so there's that. I guess I guess I could put that as my high. Also, some other behind the scenes stuff that's just it's been a pretty decent week. I've been positive about. I took a positive reaction to a lot of a few certain things this week. I shouldn't say positive, but I handled them better than I thought I would. But that's my high for the week right there. For my highs and lows, and I'm actually glad because I think the last few times I haven't really shared highs and lows that much. I've been very not secretive, but just kind of keeping to myself with my highs and lows. But again, it's been a pretty decent week. And like I said, I'm alive. So that's always gonna be a high. And I'm a child of God. So I'm right there, dog. I'm right there. I'm right there. So make sure y'all put your highs and lows in the chat. Again, also don't forget to put what you're drinking in the chat or whatever you're doing to relax tonight on After Hours with me in the chat. Throw it in there. So everybody can, we could all enjoy this together. We got one right here. It says the high for the week. Got a solid interview for a job I've been eyeing in Detroit. So we'll see how things go for that. Hey, look, you got that. You got to walk in with confidence. You know what you're doing. That's yours right there. That's yours. Y'all going to keep seeing this orange finger point at y'all all night. That's yours, dog. That's yours. So, sending positive vibes your way for that. And hoping it goes well. If this is something you want, hoping it goes well. All y'all in the chat, make sure y'all send some positive vibes over to Ricky's way. Make sure he, feeling that love. because you gonna get that. We gonna manifest that right there. You gonna get that. Put that put that in motion. You gonna get that. You gonna get that. And then the low lost a deal on a duplex. I was trying to close a loan. Technicalities, all good though. Next 15-1 coming. Hey, look, you got to stay positive. Not every loss is a bad thing. Maybe that's not what you needed right there. It's probably something bigger along the way, So don't for some of y'all that's listening, don't ever think. I know y'all probably get hit with a lot of stuff sometimes. And sometimes, and it's funny that I'm saying this because that's how my week kind of went. Sometimes something bad gotta happen for you to get something better. Not all the time, though. Not all the time. So don't think, dang, well, something better, because it's not always gonna happen. But sometimes, I can give a good example. When I was in this industry, I stayed at this property that I did not like for the longest. And every time I thought about trying to go somewhere else, I'm like, nah. But when I was about to leave that property and go to a different one, like all these other properties was giving me stuff, like to try to get me to go work for them. And it just kind of didn't work. And then I got here to where I'm working at now. And I'm like, this is where I needed to be. All that stuff had to happen. I had to get denied whatever it was, or not get whatever pay, whatever it is over there, because the best thing, the best pay, the best experience I was going to have was here. I needed it to be here. So, maybe the duplex wasn't the deal you needed, because it's a bigger deal coming, bro. So, it's going to be all right. And you a positive person. You do your stuff. Y'all got to look up Ricky's page. I'm trying to create a thing for our page at the moment where you can, so we ain't got to type it in all the time. So every time you on here and you watching our stuff, you can literally follow us. All of our information will be like towards the end or something, and you can see everything right there. And we can all go from there pretty much. Liking or following some of the hosts, the host, Deshay, of course. But if you on here, that means you following her already. But still, whatever else you ain't following her on, it'll be in there. Then you'll have the rest of the co-hosts, me, Callie, Ray, all of us. All the stuff will be on there. I keep jumping between the Ricky and the Ray, and I'm gonna stick with the Ray. But all right. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into tonight's topic. All right. So I don't know if y'all remember, but last time I hosted, we were talking about villains. We were talking about more comic book villains, superheroes, stuff like that. And how it was to relate to them. Was they valid for their crash outs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what it was. So we're still on that same page a little bit, but tonight we're talking more on the scary movie side of things and thriller side of things. So like Freddy, Jason, I can't because the first thing that's coming to my mind is too many what are they called? Too many biopics of actual bad people in the world, and that ain't valid. But just the whole thriller genre, Saw, stuff like that, in that era, in that genre right there of villainry, or even antagonists in your favorite dramatic, movies, like any of them Tyler Perry movies that you've seen, any of those Lifetime movies, whatever you've seen, stuff like that. That is the topic we are touching on tonight. If you have a villain that you like, or someone who you didn't see as the villain in the movie like that, because you were like, yo, this had to happen. Like this was gonna happen. Y'all made this happen. But that's what we're gonna be on tonight with that. And I don't know if a lot of y'all are into. I know it's a lot of y'all that don't like scary movies because you don't like being scared. You don't like jump scares, but also maybe the gore is too much for you. The story may be too relatable. I hope not. I hope ain't nobody chasing y'all with butter knives on their fingers trying to cut you up. But yeah, if you are a little bit of a movie buff or a story buff, whatever it is, because you can bring in people I ain't even heard of. It don't matter. You can tell their story in here, and we'll go from there. But I'm gonna put the first question in here. Give me 1 second. With the most. All right. So, my bad, y'all. I was trying to type this up. So, the first question is pretty much which horror movie villain do you connect with the most? And what about their story made you understand them? I just put understand, but it's supposed to say what made you understand them. I'm sorry. But pretty much which villain did you really like? And not even, it doesn't have to be a villain. It could have been like because there's a few movies where it's like um this is a movie I seen called Nine Dead or something like that. It's kind of close to Saw, but you know, like what movie that what villain in, or antagonist in whatever you've seen did you ever like connect with? Like you actually seen like, bruh, it doesn't make you sick to connect with these people. Apparently, there's something in there that gets you. But what made you connect with them, and what made you pretty much understand? I kind of get why this happened. Did they have to go to that length? No, not at all. No, but you know, um, I wouldn't say I connected with some. I got two. The first one I will say I understood. I didn't connect, but I understood. Was Friday the 13th movies. It would pretty much, but not Jason. It would be the very first movie, and I think I talked about this in the last podcast that I hosted. She was kind of someone I understood, not too much, because like the story, if you all know the story of Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, he was swimming in the lake and these teens weren't paying attention to him at summer camp and they let him drown because they were too busy having sex or doing whatever they were doing. But my thing was, you know, I'm not a parent, so I'm not fully gonna understand. But like all you know is people weren't paying attention and your son died. Now you want vengeance. And I think most parents that can speak out there, I know if they, I mean, shoot, it's even movies like that where I mean, it's not villain, like it's not really a scary movie, but Taken, for instance, look how far that man went for his child. Like people will go the distance for their child. Now, the only reason why I think I don't understand it a little too much with Jason's mother, also, spoiler alert, if you ain't never seen the first Friday the 13th, sorry I messed it up for you. It's also been about 50 years since that movie has been out. So catch up. But what I understood was like, I would probably go crazy too. I will be because I wouldn't want this to happen to any other parent. Like, you let my kid drown and y'all didn't care nothing about it. And then on top of that, I think they added some more to it. They made him look like deformed and stuff. So nobody would save him, and it made it worse. It made all that worse. But that's one of them. Like I said, I couldn't say I would can't connect with it because again, I'm not a parent, but also I don't think I would go. I don't think I would go slashing up, a whole bunch of other kids just because my kid died. But another one that was, and I may be wrong, Some of y'all that watched it, you can tell me if I am wrong. You can talk about it another time, but I think we can talk about it another time, like not fully here, but on the side, because that'll be a whole different story, because that means we got to talk about the whole franchise. But the Saw movies, like I said, I seen a movie called Nine Dead. I'll use Nine Dead better because I can't remember the Saw movies. But Nine Dead, yeah, you right, dog. They really, that's what majority of them are. Before I lose my train of thought, though, I'm gonna leave that up there. But before I lose my train of thought, my other one was Nine Dead, where in the movie this guy got 9 people. He got them all in this room on like this pole tied up, and they don't know why they're in there. And I think it was like every 3 minutes or every 15 minutes or something like that, he was coming in there and killing somebody. But he gave them a way out. He said, if y'all can figure out why y'all here, I'll let all y'all go and I'll stop killing everybody. But it was like every 5 to 10 minutes, bro was like coming in there. He's like, why are you here? Why are y'all here? Why are you here? Now, the further the movie got, everybody started to realize they all played a part in this man's life. I think something about his, again, this deals with kids. Something happened to his son. And everybody in that room played a part in the murder of his son, whether it was denying a certain insurance or somebody running into him at a bar and like staring him in the wrong direction. Like, and I don't know how the father found this out, but he did. But like, I ain't gonna lie. If I can remember the story correctly a little bit, I will connect with that. Again, I can't go around killing people. Like that's crazy. But I can get where like the anger is coming in, and I'm like, I want to know, because his main purpose was, do y'all feel bad for what y'all did to my son? Because look what y'all did and look where he's at. Do y'all understand what y'all did? And he's like, if y'all don't, well, y'all can go exactly where he at. And he was just, and I'm like, wow. But then again, I said, I'm not a parent, so I don't know what the man has been through, but it had to be something crucial for him to get like 9 people and have no fear with killing them off. But like you said, a lot of villains, like you said, Ray, a lot of villains just really are tormented and they unleash back on people. And that's why it's some of them, like I said, I can't get too deep into like because I can't relate, because some of the stuff they did as a child was just crazy. But like Fred, or not a child, but before they came who they were, Freddie, for example, dude was just like, y'all burnt me. I'm killing everybody in y'all generation, and everybody that lives on this street dies. Like they just die. Chucky, I think Chucky was just looking for a body, but regardless, it was like I'm going to literally, and I think the first movie was, I want to get everybody back that was in my crew, and then I'm going to literally try to find a body to get into, and I'm gonna murder whoever gets in my way. Like that was very crazy to me, because hi sister, how are you doing? That was very crazy to me, because like, yo, you murdering a lot of people just to kind of get what you want. But again, they all just, like you said, they unleash it back on everybody. Like, and then you got them ones who just they just straight evil. I never really watched any of the Hellraisers. What's another one? Whatever that clown is, not Pennywise, but the other clown, the black and terror, I think it's called, or whatever. And some of those, I'm just like, yo, these some sick people right here. Said it's all perspective. We know in real life people generally suck. Nah, people do suck, but then again, you got to remember, although some of these things are created in people's mind, It gotta be. I promise you. I guarantee you, there's somebody out here who probably wants to do that stuff. Be careful. uh, but yeah, I'm sorry. It's a lot of different villains out there though that is like I said, it's hard to connect with because of the stuff they do or however it is. And I mean you really can't connect from some of the demons. But then like you hear some of their backstories. I'm pretty sure if you seen I think it was either House of Wax or Dead Silence. Like when you see most of these villains, it's all because they were treated or like you said, tormented. They were done so wrong. Uh, and that's crazy that y'all got me talking about villains, and I'm like the Mr. Nice Guy. They were done so wrong that they have to unleash this back onto other people, innocent people at that. Like I said, if you ever seen House of Wax or Dead Silence, um, all the people that was in those movies, they just all got killed because somebody else had their issues. Same with Wrong Turn. Dang, now they all coming back. But then you got them other ones that are a little too. It's hard to get the villains, but Oculus. If y'all ever seen that, it ain't no villains in that. That's more supernaturally. But who else we got? Like the Leprechaun. If any of y'all side with that man, I understand. Y'all just did it for the bag. Y'all want the bag. It's understandable. You're gonna murk for the bag. It's a bag of gold. What? Get to the money by any means necessary. Yeah, nah, but I'm trying to think of more. Oh, that is true. That is true because a lot of people, even villains, whether we're talking about comic book or villain as in whatever scary movies or villain as just a villain in whatever the movie is, a lot of them, their intentions are always in, to them, though, to them, some of them, to them, their intentions are for good. I'm doing this, like, for instance, Jason Voorhees' mother. Um, she was only, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when you watch it, she was only going after the people who weren't paying attention to kids. Like, yeah, don't do that, but also, okay, I see, like, you don't want these people to be in charge of getting anybody else, but it's like I think she lost herself way too fast because you're killing these people. You could have whooped them at least, took a stick to their butt or something. I don't know, but you could have did belt to ass and you put knife to back, like, or shears to neck. I don't know, whatever she was doing. Dang, this is graphic. Let me get off of Ms. Voorhees for a second. But like people lose they self. Or you got like the movie The Good Child, I think it's called, The Good Son. Like, oh, that boy just wanted to be loved, but like he was so hyped up on being loved, he was willing to hurt the other son. Y'all gotta watch that movie. It's a good movie. It's starring what's his name? The Home Alone kid. The little that's a real good movie. But the boy just wanted to be loved, but there was another boy that was there, and this boy wanted the mother's attention, but he lost himself. He lost himself and went way worse than he should have, dang near almost killing the boy. You know, it's crazy out there. And what makes it even worse is, I mean, I can't say, oh yeah, 13 Reasons Why is a good one. I've seen it. And every day at work, I'll be like, yo, this person about to be my 13th reason. I ain't gonna do it, but they just that's just the little joke me and my coworkers be saying. But it's just crazy because it's like what really brings you to that point to where you gonna do what you're gonna. Jada, you can go. You gotta go, dog. I'm the only one on here. I can't cut the camera off. They just gonna have to see you walking in the back. That's my sister. For those of y'all that just might see the ghost walking in the background. But what's crazy is sometimes, and I think I said this to somebody a while back, is sometimes you never like you ever sit there and think like you ever look at a crazy person and be like, yeah, Macaulay Culkin, there we go. Um, you ever looked at a person and just seen like a crazy person and actually sat and thought to them, they never knew when they went crazy. They just slipped into it and this seems normal to them. Like these villains never knew, some of them probably did, but some of them never knew when they got that far. They just kept going because it was just normal to them. That's just that's just how it was. Uh I think that's the crazy that scares me sometimes. And I only say me because like that could genuinely happen. Like one day you could just be living life, and then next thing you know, you don't even. I mean, you won't know it, but damn, now you the new uh Lakeshore murderer. Like, but it's because something happened apparently. But it's just real crazy that sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yo, you coming through. I appreciate you. I really do. Like you unintentionally become a villain sometimes, and it's usually because of the majority of the time it's the environment you're in, and that even goes for real life too, bro. You can become the villain unintentionally, and you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't know you became the villain, mostly because that's also how others paint you too. But sometimes you don't know you become the villain, especially when you seeking out revenge or you going a certain way about it. Like you never you gotta you gotta keep a good head on your shoulders, of course, but it only takes one day. uh it only takes one day, one bad decision, um and you get that path, boy, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. But again, it's it's not even for scary movies, like in general, like whatever it is. There's always going to be a bad guy that a lot of people sympathize about, because also that could have been you. You probably been in this situation before and you was just like, and now you're looking and you're like, I could have went that exact same direction. I was running around with people, mobbing, stealing stuff, and then my homies left me and I got shot in a toy store. But I got up and went to the hospital. This guy transferred his soul into a body. I could have been him. I could have been the next Charles Lee Ray. Nah, but like, you know, not trying to get off the subject, but sometimes you got to look at your life and be like, yo, I really could have been. But also keep that as a mindset, like, because that's what gets me sometimes. When people like to say, if they say I'm mean or something, or they say something about me, I'm like, yo, you just don't understand. This could have been way worse. But hey, you think what you want to think. If you think I'm a villain right now, this is hilarious. I'm gonna do my villain laugh. But you know, everybody got those thoughts. But and it, like I said, it don't make you a bad person, because I'm telling you, I know sometimes y'all watch a scary movie and y'all be like, and that's what you get, dog. Like, and you rooting for the villain at this point, or whatever it is, and it's because every everybody a little evil. Everybody's just a tad bit. Not everybody all. Somebody got a little ruthlessness in them. You wouldn't be playing no practical jokes if you didn't. Uh, but you can relate. A lot of people can relate to a lot of some of these antagonists. Whatever the movie, the show, the story is, because again, there's been people. A lot of them. It's always they were left alone, and everybody has been alone at some point. So everybody's like, oh, I've been alone too. I should probably go take over the world. Like, uh, but that does hit home. It's all about how you go from whatever hits you, how life hits you, whatever it is. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to type up the next question, y'all. I keep picking up my drink, and I ain't even drunk any of that. Again, for those of y'all that are just joining up, Carter Love Talk Show After Hours. We talking about villains again. That's where we at. And I think this is the last part of this. This is just part 2. We kind of touching a little bit on the scary movie side, but we still on the other side of it as well. You still got time to put your highs and lows in. If you jumping in right now, you still got time to put in what you drinking in the chat. Throw that in there too. Whatever y'all sipping on. Like I said, I'm drinking the Villain's Choice. What happened? Dang. As soon as I said that, my camera was like, nah, we ain't showing you that one right now. My bad, y'all. My bad. All right, there we go. I'm drinking the Villain's Choice Hennessy. Very, very special Hennessy. But again, just make sure y'all put in the chats and don't forget to like and subscribe. But let me type up this next question. The last one again was, what villain did you connect with the most, and what about their story made you understand them? Again, I think, and just because you understand a villain, remember, that doesn't make you a bad person at all. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're just someone who understands. You're looking from the outside. You're not just being one-sided about it. And that's what makes some of us pretty I wouldn't say good. I forgot where I was going. I'm sorry. But that's what makes some of us, I'm a little bit more emotionally intelligent at times, because you can understand when, let's just say, whoever that villain is in front of you right now, or in that argument, in that moment, you can see, if you see them as a villain at the time. I don't know what you're seeing, but for you to see outside that and see, I get why he went through this path. I get why he went insane. I get why he wanted to do this. I get this. Like, it makes sense. But would you do it? Nah, hell no. It depends. But no, maybe. I don't know. It depends on what's going on. It depends on what happened. Like, you take my double stuffed Oreos from me, I may have to end your life. This may be the time you see me standing out your window with a mask and a knife, just staring. So don't come outside unless you got my double stuffed Oreos. All right, let me type this. I'm sorry. I'm so used to like other people being here. I see why it's easy when it's other people in here, because the Shay could just be typing away. Ain't nobody paying attention to nothing while everybody just talking. All right. I know it probably sound like I typed like an old man over here. It's because I am. But this is the next question. Do you think, I'm sorry, trying to make sure I typed it right because I messed it up last time. Do you think horror villains are born evil or created through trauma and circumstances? We don't even gotta say horror villains. We could just say the bad person in general. Just like everything else in this world, and this is just my opinion, is taught. This stuff is taught. They see it somewhere. It's ain't no way you come out the womb and you just like like ain't no way. Ain't no way. But then again, I wouldn't know too much. I've never encountered that. But like people like to say, dang, this kid is evil, like this baby bad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, but I don't think you can be born, for reality's sake, I don't think you can be born evil. I don't believe you can be born evil. Some got a quicker trigger to dive in, but most of it pushed into that lane of scenes. Yeah, I'm gonna post yours in a second. But yeah, I don't think you can be born evil, but I do believe it's through trauma and circumstances, because again, something's got to get you there to do it. Something's got to make you do that. Like, I've never seen or read a story where they just said, and if they did it because that's how they wanted to write the story. But most people have a background. again, prime example, the Joker. I spoke about it last time. Back in the day, you only knew that this man just did everything he did for the love of the game. He was already evil. He was just an evil person. I mean, but that's because they didn't tell his story. But then when they finally created his story, you realized that he went through a bad experience, and this is what got him here. I think the story was called One Bad Day or something like that. Dude lost his wife, lost his job, almost got beat up by the mob. Like, and they kind of played the same thing in the Joker movie to an extent, not necessarily, but like I truly believe like it takes something's got to happen for somebody to get there. Something's got to happen. Like, you know, the one that kind of gets me all the time is like I was left alone, I was never chosen, so now I'm gonna become evil and make everybody choose me. Like, whoa, what? What? That's the one that be getting me, but that's from trauma. That's from trauma. Yeah, you know, Ray said some got a quicker trigger to dive in, but mostly they're pushed into that lane. Like, yeah, like I know the world has their different views on bullying. I was the bullied, not the bully. Um, but like stuff like that pushes people into certain lanes. There's a lot of other scary movies where people just did it because they was bullied all their life. Now they want revenge for everybody that bullied them. That's another, like, you know, getting pushed into the lane. What? Snape ain't a villain? Don't say that. Like even I forgot. I lost my train of thought because he said Snape was a villain. You know, it's stuff like that. Now I'm saying stuff done by people, you know, getting rejected multiple times, talking down, abusing whoever it is, whatever. But that's also because that kid also didn't know how to not get over those bad moments, or that person, whatever. They didn't know how to get over the bad things. They just it just stayed with them. It sunk in. And again, that's more from, I mean, you could say it's born with it if it's starting at a certain age, but that again, that's like circumstances. This dude was mad the whole time because all he kept getting every time he went to the store, they was out of mint chocolate chip. So bruh grew up to just be this man who went to every store and wiped his boogers in everybody's mint chocolate chip. Like yeah, the circle, like, but you ain't born like you came out the womb and the only thing you was thinking was everybody getting fucked up over mint chocolate chip. Like, nah, that didn't happen. But it I definitely believe circumstances and trauma play a big role, but also it's the person themselves too. Like they gotta, and I'm pretty sure some of these people have ran into certain people that try to get them out of this. Like they tried to help them. They're like, yo, you know, this and that, but they didn't see that because at that point they're too far gone. They are too far gone. It's they're at a point where they're like, I want revenge. I want everybody. And it's understood. It's really understood at times. You said only Snape and people that do that shit out of envy are the real villains. I need you to explain that one to me. Damn, dog. Wish you was here. But yeah, then there's people that do stuff out of envy. But shit, and you know what? Now that I think about it, it is weird because some people don't even have trauma or the circumstances. Like you just said, they really do shit out of envy. Somebody could have had the best life ever and was like, yeah, this one thing happened. Like they forgot whatever in the office today. And they snap and they just become this villain. And it's like, what the hell didn't happen? Because they forgot the chocolate chip bagels this time. What has been going on in your life? And nothing has happened. Like I think that Or they seen somebody else kept getting the chocolate chip bagel. Let me take that back. They seen somebody else getting the chocolate chip bagel every time, and they finally ordered two, and that person just took both this time. Like they just be on a murdering spree. Like I don't even care no more. Don't be, bless you, bless you. You're pretty loud, buddy. Um, hey, that's true. There's a lot of villains that's been created out here because of this, because of money and girls. They'll do it to you, dog. Money will make a lot of villains. Um, and just to be right, that'll create a lot of villains too. Uh, damn. The way villains can be created nowadays is just so crazy to me. It could be the smallest thing. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna get into that because I don't want to get canceled. We're not gonna get canceled on here. We're not gonna cancel the Carter Love Talk Show. So let me sip the villain drink of the year because again, I'm on the dog water, the hen dog, the villainous drink of them all. My bad. Excuse me, y'all. Because my notes is in my phone too, so that's why I keep unlocking my phone. But yeah, now of course, you got your superficial stuff where these motherfuckers were just born from whatever or AI with whatever. But I mean, if you want to say born with it, you got them ones who were the person that raised them were bad. So from birth until whatever age they got, they knew nothing but evil. So I mean, if you want to really say born evil, that works too. But I truly think, regardless of what you say, whether it's fictional or reality, it's always going to be circumstances. It's always going to be the circumstances that make the person who they are. Because remember, without them circumstances, a lot of people would not, and that goes back to question one, a lot of people wouldn't relate or feel for some of these villains when they see them or when things happen. I remember I went to watch some scary movie one time and somebody was literally crying because the main villain died. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But apparently she understood something I didn't. If I could remember the movie, it probably makes some sense. But all I remember was whatever it was. I think it was a thing. I don't know. But it was crying when it was dying. But it needed to die. But yeah, like again, those circumstances are things that a lot of other people have somewhat or somehow went to or can relate to. And it's just like, damn, that could have been me. That could have been me. I think the real question is, if you had the choice, you got to choose between the two. Would you rather have been born evil, or would you have rather been created evil? I mean, me personally, I would have chose created because somewhere in there, I have some type of redemption if I haven't gone too far. It can be fixed. You just got to find it. But I feel like born evil, I mean, you still got a chance, but like, if you born with just hatred in your blood, like you just came out the womb on demon time, literally, I feel like there ain't no coming back from that. Like there ain't. But what's crazy is if you're born evil, but you raised around some good people, does it change and you now become like this good person? Although you was born evil, you was born a villain, you was born to be bad to the bone. Da. Do you then be, that's because if we going off of it's the circumstances, somebody could have been born good and, and I'm sorry, my sister is texting me and won't come out the office, out her room to do what she has to do. My bad. But yeah, you should be able to adapt and grow. That is true. That is true. You should be able to adapt and grow. I'm sorry. Um, my bad. You should be able to adapt and grow. But that's why I said, would you want to be born? Go, bro, because you scaring me because your head popping up around the corner. Go, do what you got to do. They already know you here, dog. You can't even duck. They literally saw you run. Anyways, um, but again, like if you born evil, do you think you would stay that bad person, even if you grew up in why are you covering your face? You about to make me become a villain. Like, because you being stupid and the circumstances is not good right now. I'm traumatized. Um, Dang, she made me lose my train of thought. She really did. I lost my whole train of thought right there. Because she covered her face when she went around the wall and I didn't understand it. Don't mind my background, by the way. That's part of my DJ equipment. I got an event to do tomorrow. So, and then cleaning supplies because that's part of one of my other businesses. Don't mind that. Just gonna scoot over here so you don't see all that. But yeah, I think me personally, because this is the question I asked if some of y'all joining up, I would rather be created, and by creation I mean like the traumatized or the the trauma or the circumstances, because I say that because I've kind of been through it before. So like in a sense, and I feel like it would have been easier because in the end, I want to be good. That's the bad part. See, y'all got to get some evil people on here, and I know some evil folks, but they all at work and they all work on the West Coast, so this ain't working for me right now. Because by the time they get off work, the show gonna be over. But I think being created a villain is still like there's still hope compared to being born a villain. Because it's like you just know you're nothing but you're doing it for the love of the game. Like someone can try to come and talk to you and be like, "Why are you killing all these people? Why are you doing this? Why are you enslaving whatever? Why are you saying all of this?" I don't care. Which is crazy because let's just take out all that stuff of some of y'all still be doing that. Some of y'all be out here just going off doing whatever you want to whoever's, you know, marriage or whatever. Y'all be messing up all of this. Why would you do that? I don't care. I know some people that really just don't care. Like, so y'all are pure villains, but I love y'all. I just don't forget. I love y'all. Y'all just got some issues. No, but like, it's some people out here that really just don't. They don't care, and that's real villainous to me right there. But hey, to you, it might make some sense. And if I sit back and observe and hear your story, I might understand why you going out there, doing what you're doing. But would I do it? I'd have to be in your shoes to find out, but I'm pretty sure I won't. But yeah, I definitely would rather be created. Would definitely rather choose being a creative villain than born. That's just me. That's just me. Um, I'm moving through these questions fast, huh? And I still got a whole hour. Before I move on to these next two questions, we're just gonna take it back to the top again for a little bit. For those of y'all that's just joining up, make sure y'all put in the chat what y'all drinking. Again, I'm drinking the enemy drink for people who want to be true villains. And if you still got time to put in your highs and lows. We trying to make sure we don't make no villains out there. So put in your highs and lows so we can talk to you. We don't want nobody going evil, going down the wrong path, saying nobody was ever there for me. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hit that little bell. Again, I'm the host tonight, so we just chilling. And I'm not gonna fully stay on script. We're gonna jump around here and there. And I want to go back to. I wouldn't say. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm reading over the questions. Excuse me. I don't know if any of y'all was on last time, but I asked a question earlier that said, "Who did y'all connect with?" If you still got a villain that you connect with, um, whether it's horror or or whether it's horror, whether it's real life, and I ain't saying real life, like these serial killers, but you know what I mean. Real life dramas where some dude was stalking somebody, but you understood because she was fine as hell and she acted as her. I don't know, whatever it is, or some lady is stalking a man and you understand why. Whatever your preference is, but whatever your villain is that you connect with, drop it in there and explain why. It ain't too late to read that one because I'm pretty sure everybody would love to see that one. Uh, because it always interests people on why you connect with somebody that's bad or doing what they're doing. Like a lot of people didn't understand why a lot of people sided with Killmonger, um, and why a lot of people was agreeing with Thanos. A lot of people was shit. A lot of people was agreeing with was it Tony or Cap, whatever side you was on in the Civil War. A lot of people was agreeing with. I ain't gonna say no public figures of history because then people go. But y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people agree with some of these people. Why? Just why? Will you get judged? Maybe. But we listen, we don't judge. Nah, but put in the comments, which antagonist, which villain have you ever not I wouldn't say connected with, but you understood their story. And you're like, I can see why you went down this rabbit hole. I can see why you lost your stuff there. I can see why you went this far. It's understandable. Sorry. All right. This one is crazy. And I wish I had it was because I used to watch a lot of scary movies a few years back. I ain't watched a lot in a long time. Um, but this was a very good question. Um, that I like that's asked. It says, at what point does understanding a villain stop and accountability begins? Um, and again, I don't know what point we're coming from. Is if it says you as the viewer, let me put it this way: when you watching or reading something, you be like, "Nah, they should have did that. Nah, they going too far now." That's Let me just tell you, that's where you draw on the line. Like, all right, I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't have done that. Being a villain, I think it all depends. Again, if you connect this with question number one, like who you understood and who you kind of like connected with, if you got your favorite scary movie villain, like if it's Ghostface or whoever, blah blah blah. If you was one of them, where did you where would you draw the line? And I know this is kind of a hard question to ask because in reality, majority of us are drawing the line at if I'm like literally here, that's the knife, and I'm here and you like right here. I didn't went too far. Like I shouldn't be here. but exactly, the going too far is like the only issue. Like everybody gonna do their petty stuff. And let me look, being petty is being a villain. Let's be real. Being petty is being a villain because you know what you're doing. Um, but again, and he said it again, you gotta stop messing with people because you don't know what type of time people be on. And you messing around and look, you want to fuck around, you gonna find out. And you either gonna find out and you're gonna be 6 feet under, or you gonna find out and gonna be in a hospital, or you gonna find out and you're gonna be trapped in a box alive. Like it's mm, mm. Yeah, at what point does understanding a villain stop? Yeah, that one again, that one it's tough, but it's a good question because Again, there are people that literally agrees with the villain, the antagonist, the bad person the whole way through. They're like, they're valid for what they did. They were supposed to do that. But if you look at it from a certain standpoint, sometimes if you flip the roles, that hero is a villain in the villain's eyes, and that villain is a hero. It's low key the same stuff, dog. We just be rooting for the hero because they took the good route, and but it's the same. They both on the same path. They just doing different shit. So that hero sometimes we don't even care that they don't take accountability because it's like they're doing the good, and then you see bad Benny over here doing like the worst, and you just like, yo, he needs to stop. This is it. Nah, you doing too much. But Benny looking like, well, I'm doing exactly what he doing. I'm just not scared to push the envelope. He said, I'm trying to think of heroes I don't fuck with right now. Like it's prime example. And like I said, if you flip it, so if any of y'all have ever seen the movie Watchmen or the show or read the comic, it's a movie called Watchmen. And if y'all don't know what the movie is, if y'all ever seen that movie with that big, tall, glowing blue dude and he was butt naked and he had the dot right here, that's Watchmen. The movie is about people who are heroes, but they push the envelope when they saving the world. They do save the world, but they also don't care. Like there's one part where one of the dudes literally shot a woman that he ended up getting pregnant because he didn't care. Nobody was watching the movie for the naked dudes. I'm just saying that's the best way. I'm pretty sure most of these people gonna remember. I remember the giant blue naked dude. That's it. But like in the movie, there's this dude. His name is Ozymandias. He's one of these. He's like the Captain America / Batman of the universe. He not Batman though, because there's another dude in there. But the dude had Ozymandias had not. He was very smart. Like he can predict. He was so smart. He can plan something out, and it's gonna go exactly that way, unless somebody comes in here who's like a literal, who's literally a wild card, I guess. If somebody's a wild card and they hop in there and they like mess up his plans, it's kind of bad. But the reason why I'm telling this story is Ozymandias did a whole bunch of bad stuff, but it was valid in the end. Spoiler alert if you never seen Watchmen, but basically the story of Watchmen was the world was coming up to, because this all takes place in the 80s. One of the wars was about to pop off. One of these wars was about to pop off. And Ozymandias, who was a hero, he is a hero. He was considered a hero. He always did good things. He had an idea. And his idea was, I'm going to cause a cataclysmic, Lord, I felt like I said that word wrong, but cataclysmic event to bring the world together so they don't worry about fighting each other. But for me to cause this event, I have to kill a bunch of people and I have to frame somebody that we all know and love. But he also knew that person would take that blame anyways. But when he started telling other people this, some of the people on his team who kind of realized where he was going, they started to try to kill him. But all he saw was this benefits the world. In his mind, he was the hero, and all the heroes were the villains to him. But see, when you watch that movie, you're still rooting for all the heroes. But if you stop and think about it, bruh had a very good point. And when he did go through with his plan, there was only one person left that finally figured out what he was trying to do. And luckily, the dude was smart enough. He wrote it down and delivered it before he went off to confront this man. So just in case he did die, the news was spread out, but I don't think it ever got spread out. I can't remember. But his plan went and it happened. Nobody knew what he did. So as a viewer, we all seen this man is still the villain. He's a villain. But in that world, everybody saw this man as a hero. Nobody knew exactly what this man did. The villainous stuff he did, the bad stuff he did. And it's like, again, that's another, where do you draw? That's where I would have drew the line. Like, bro, if I gotta take accountability because I'm about to set up my friend and I'm about to kill millions and millions of people, knowing this would help the world, but this is what I gotta live with. Like, nah, man, that's some wild stuff right there. Watchmen is also a good one though to watch. The TV show is good too. Because the TV show kind of did the same thing. If you watch the TV show, and if I think some of y'all would like the TV show a little bit more than the movie, the TV show a little bit more up to date, I should say. If it fits in a little bit more, y'all would like that. But the original movie was still good. It's a Zack Snyder movie. I love it. But the TV show was great. Regina King, I think that's who's in there. She's in there. The dude from Regina King is in there. The dude from Wonder Man, if y'all know who that is. If not, the dude that played Candyman in the last Candyman movie. I forgot what other movie he played in. He played in Aquaman. He's in the TV show. Like, the TV show is real. It's real good. But again, it just shines light on sometimes even these heroes, the people that you be rooting for don't be taking it. They just be going. They do the same things the villains do. But and unless you knew, if you didn't know, you would always think this person was a hero. And if we didn't see this person, these villains, I guess, if this makes sense, if we didn't really see them in action like that, we only seen the good they did, but never knew the bad they was doing. We never know they was a villain. They could be doing all the worst stuff, but we see it, and then our morals get involved, and then we also see the person who actually doing all this good and stuff. So now you just, you're the villain, you a villain. My boy said Beast was a fake villain. Don't recall. But also, I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. Yeah, I it all depends on who you are when it comes to understanding a villain. When you want to stop understanding a villain. They treated Shrek and Beast the same and made them out to be bad people. Shrek, and I was just about to touch up on that. I didn't know how to bring that in, but like Shrek and it's another Lord, the girl from Wicked, they both green. That's crazy. Those are villains that I feel, those are some villains I feel bad for because they're not truly bad people. The world painted them as villains. Or especially because the circumstances and the trauma that they went through. Everybody knows Shrek. I mean, of course, we all see him as a hero, but that's because we're watching it from that point of view. Because if you watch the first movie, Shrek was not a hero. You actually got to watch that, bruh. Shrek was like literally a villain. They was there to go kill him one night. Like, they was trying to kill him while this dude was trying to eat his eyeball spaghetti. Like, Shrek was a villain, but that's because that's what the world painted him to be. And he was just like, as long as that gives me peace, I'll be a villain. Just don't come around here because I will show y'all why y'all think I'm a villain. Same with, Wicked. And Wicked is, the background story of the Wizard of Oz. And the Wicked Witch. Like you get to see why she became who she became and what happened. And she was like, if I got to be painted as the bad guy to save the world, to save humanity. And these were people that were painted as the bad guy, but didn't really, I mean, the Wicked Witch did some bad stuff, but you know, they didn't really show Shrek killing people, but I think he did. Maybe he did, bro. I was probably out here murking folks, some earwax candles. You know, these people actually was just like, if I got to be painted as the bad person, I got to. And same for Dr. Manhattan and Watchmen. He didn't kill all those people, but in the movie, at least, the way they did it, they framed him and he was like, well, if this is what I got to do in order for the world to be at peace, then hey, sign me up. I ain't gonna lie, that's sometimes you got to become the villain in some of these people's stories, especially if it's gonna grant you peace, dog. Like, and I think we spoke about this last time too. I used to not want to be the villain because I didn't want nobody going around talking about just lying on me. I hate it when people lied on me. Like, don't lie on me. If you're from California, you know, don't lie on me. Like, don't lie. Tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you. Because you're gonna be seeing God. But like sometimes, you know, in this day and age, you gotta be the villain. You gotta sit down. Hey, nobody said that. Look, I'm still gonna say what I gotta say, but nobody said the main character was a hero, bro. The main character could be a villain, anyways. Sometimes you got to be that villain, dog. And it's okay. That's why it's okay to understand them sometimes, because sometimes you got, yeah, bro, all right. I even show off. You know, they heard I kick you know, I kick people down when they trying to get up. You know, when I see them trip on the street. I gotta stick to it a little bit. I see an old man fall, oh, Mr. Jenkins, whoop, and keep it walking. Like, hey, y'all said I was a villain, right? You know, you just gotta stick to your story. Don't be going out there tripping old people, please. Please don't. Nah, but I do like some of those villains that just are literally like to save face pretty much. I'm gonna stick this out. I'm gonna be the bad person y'all all think I am. Even if I die, knowing I was the good person, and everybody else still thinks I'm bad, because sometimes it even helps as long as one person knew I was actually good, which I think was kind of Shrek's thing too. To me, this is just me. I'm just saying this. I think he knew that just because Donkey, his best friend, knew he was a good person, he didn't really care. But then the man had a wife and some kids, so you know. Were they still villains? Was they still eating eyeball spaghetti? I got to go back and watch now, because then at that point, them babies was born evil. And y'all out here murking people for eyeball spaghetti and earwax candles. Wait, no, they took the candles out their ears. Never mind. Less is more. It's plenty of us. Let in y'all main in y'all story in life, put it in the chat, put it in the comment. Do you think you the hero, you the villain, or you in the neutral area, like you what they call it, the anti-hero, I guess, or the what is the difference? I mean, I know anti-hero is like a gray area. Like, are you in the gray area? Like, you do some good, you do some bad. But or do you specifically have a side that you lean to? Are you the good person? You the good person in your story? Since, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm in the middle. I like to be the good person, of course. Of course. But I say I'm in the middle because I know in life, right there, I'm the villain. I'm the villain in some people's story. Actually, a lot of people's story, because I'm on the internet, so people can see me. It's probably people like you said that I never met that don't like me, that probably came across my page and saw my content, was like, that nigga kneecap shape weird. I don't like him. Like, bro, whoa, what my kneecaps do to you? Hater? But you know, and now all of a sudden I'm a bad guy for some odd reason, because my kneecap. uh, like, yeah, me, I say I'm more in the middle. I'm in the middle, most definitely. Uh, but I will say I tilt more to the good for me. But I know in a lot of friendships and a lot of past relationships, even with certain family, I know I'm probably a villain somewhere. I know they see me as a villain, and I'm okay with that because they delusional. Not me. They just want to make me a villain because they won't be accountable for what they did, and that's okay. That's okay. Because guess who's at peace? Me. Guess who's still over there trying to put together why I'm the bad guy? Them, you, whoever it is, and that's you. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You can take the rest of your life struggling. I don't care. I really don't care. But yeah, nah. You always, as much as you try in life, you're always going to be the villain in somebody's story. Whether you met him or not, you will be the villain. And that's okay as long as you know the truth. Don't let what these other people say get to you. Um, don't let them try to get you emotionally. Don't let them manipulate you into thinking you're a bad person, whatever it is. They only doing that because they feel bad for whatever it is, or they hate what they did, whatever it is. Just remember, stay focused on you. Remember who you are. I gotta say it because we say it like expand your mind and remember who you are. Don't be small minded about it. All right, hold on. Another question. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, y'all. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Uh, all right. Here is the next question. Sorry, I was trying to type it up at the same time. And it's if that villain or if whatever villain that you know or you connected with or that you really like, whatever it is, if that villain had support, love, or a different environment, do you think they would have turned out the same? And I think this kind of, it jumps back to the question I said, uh, that was put out before, um, with the trauma and circumstances, because I brought it up earlier. It all depends. It all depends on the mindset of that person. Because again, I feel like this question needs a little bit more details. Like, when did they get there? What was already going through their mind when they got to this environment, or they were getting this love, or whatever it is? Because if you're asking, if a preteen who already had these issues get into a loving and different environment from what they were before, would they turn out? Would they turn out to the same as what they would have became in the future? Um, I think again that all depends. It's all on the circumstances. That's like asking if you were put, you know, to me, if you were put in a different, environment, any environment you can think of, and do you think you still would be? I mean, of course, you wouldn't be the exact same person. Some things would change, but it also depends on your bloodline, what you came from, what that bad person came from. If that bad person came from nothing but bad, hopefully that good can overwhelm it. But if not, it's always gonna be some conflict. Like, you always gonna be conflicted. Uh, you always gonna bump heads with your past and your future and the present, of course. Like, it's always gonna be a head bump because I'm so used to this. I'm so used to stealing candies from the babies. I'm so used to ding dong ditching. I'm so used to TP in the house. I'm not used to helping somebody cross the street. I'm not used to helping this person put the groceries in their car and then taking the car back from them as they leave or whatever. Like, it'll be a battle, But it also, depends on the person. That this question kind of lined up with one of the questions from earlier as I read it a little bit because I kind of jumped into it at the time too. Like, it all depends. It all depends. Again, the environment and the circumstances around a person does make a big difference, and the people that you interact with, but also the people they watch, make a big difference. Because if that villain, if that bad person grew up watching somebody be a good person, and like I said, it all depends on the age that person runs into that person, or what type of person they are. If they're a person, we all creatures of mimic, they're gonna follow suit. This person that raised me, that brought me up and did all this and that, they always said bless you every time somebody sneezed. They always opened the door for whoever was following behind them, whatever it is. I don't know what POME means. Look, dog, you gotta remember I'm old as hell. You're talking a lingo I don't understand, son. Like it all depends. But then you got people who, and it depends on what they're taking in. Because they can still see that good, but they can also see the bad. And it's like that person or in that environment, they gotta make sure they understand, look, this is good to do, this isn't. But if they're never there to teach them that, then this person might love the bad. And they just be like, ooh, I like the way it sounds when a pair of scissors stab into some paper. Like, and that's getting that person to that, to that path or whatever it is. I think it all depends with the environment still again. But if it's a loving environment, if it's a good environment, 80% chance, yes, that person might turn out different. But again, I'm telling you, there's been times where the person had the best environment ever, but for some reason, this one person, it's only been like a week and a half or two, and this one person kept taking the same chocolate chip bagel or donut, whatever, that came in every day at the office. And then one day this dude orders two so he can get one too. And then that person takes both because they didn't know. And this person just snaps. Bruh had a good childhood. He never murdered nobody. He never did nothing. But he didn't like that he couldn't get this bagel. So now he just murder on my mind. YMLE. Is that? Yeah, I think that's right. I'm trying to be young. I'm trying to be hip, as you can see. Sorry if y'all hear some loud barking. My neighbor upstairs got a dog who likes to river dance very late at night for some odd reason. Like, people ain't got places to be, things to do, sleep to get. And this is why you be loud back. I know I ain't been drinking this whole time because I've been talking. So again, make sure y'all put what y'all drinking in the chat. Like I said, I'm drinking the Villians Choice Hen Dog. But in the chat, again, just for some honorable mentions, list off some. I want y'all to list off some of your favorite. Should I say favorite villains? Yeah, list off some of your favorite villains. Because, we getting towards the end of it. We got another about 30 minutes left or so. Like I said, I'm a bit of a big villain. I'm a villain fan, but it all depends on villains for me. To be honest, it depends on who it is and what we're talking about, what movie, what story. Or even if they're not a villain, but they were a villain at first, became hero, whatever it is, put them in the chat. And if you got it in there, say why you connected with them or why you like them so much. What drew your attraction to it? And look, we ain't gonna look at you crazy. Everybody attracted to something. Everybody got a little bit of toxic in them. They like what they like. They like what they like. It is what it is. But again, for me, it's it's hard because some of these villains, sometimes I don't see why you have to go there. Sometimes. Sometimes. Like, I think one villain, I will give this an honorable mention. If y'all ever seen The Blackening, I think it came out like 2 years ago. Is it called The Blackening? Hold on. I gotta look it up real quick. My bad. Yes. It's called The Blackening. Oh, it came out 4 years ago. Damn. Was I late watching this movie? I thought this came out in 2024. It came out in 2022. Oh, it came out in 2023. Why did it say 2022? Anyways, I saw this movie called The Blackening. It's a scary movie, but it's also kind of funny. And of course, The Blackening is black people all up in it. Y'all gotta watch the movie, but I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the only movie where the whole movie, I'm like, dang, I wish this didn't happen. Dang, I wish this didn't happen. When I found out who the villain was and his reason for it all, I will not lie. That was the first time I agreed with it. And I don't want to spoil the movie for y'all because y'all gotta watch it because it's the dumbest reason of why, but it was relatable because it was literally me at the time. Not at the time, it was close to me. Basically, the dude was mad because they just didn't show him how to do something. And literally, but his whole motivation was, I'm killing all y'all. And it was hilarious. It wasn't hilarious like with them dying, but the reasoning behind it was a valid crash out. That villain, definitely agree with out of all the scary movies I've ever seen. But put your favorite villains in the chat. Or if you just a villain head, you like your villains, you like your evil people, you like to do evil things, whatever, put the little demon in the chat. Oh, see, look, I was trying to think of certain movies, but every time I hear a villain, my mind goes fantasy. I can never find this. And I was trying to make sure I don't, because then when I'm not thinking about fantasy, I start thinking about like based on true story, like the goddamn Zodiac killer and stuff. Like I keep, this is where I'm trying to get to, like stuff like this. Ray said they made David Ruffin out to be the villain, but it was just his approach that could have been a bit more user friendly. The shit he was talking was actual facts. When that man said, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis," that was actual facts. That was actual facts. Nah, you good. Nah, you real good, bro. I done held on for an hour and a half. Only got 30 more minutes, but that's an actual fact. And I appreciate you for throwing that in there because I was trying to bounce out from the slashers and the horrors and actually go to like some in life movie actual villains that just like from stuff like this. Shoot, David Ruffin was telling facts, but the man has some issues. Like, come on now, bro was coked out all the time. He messed up on one of the shows and just busted down the door but he came in hot. Like, dog came in hot, singing like crazy, making people melt. I was like, all right, brother, this man knows what he's doing. He's got, of course, that's why everybody's like, well, get him. But the crazy part was they mad because he understood his worth and he knew what it was. But his actions did play a vital role. That man was wild. David Ruffin was wild. And now that you said that, I'm trying to think of other movies. I mean, Dreamgirls, I guess that's a little bit of a good example. They painted the dude that Jamie Foxx was playing to kind of be a villain. But they also made it sympathetic. But that dude did some bad shit in there. He literally dropped J. Hud's character to go be with Beyonce's character. But then he literally use everybody else around him to get to where he was. Everybody else still made it though. You know, a few people fell off and they died, whatever it was. But he did some bad. But in that movie, they don't really, you don't see it as bad because you know they made it a little bit more sympathetic and oh he loves Beyonce and then you know it's Beyonce. Um, damn, I'm trying to think of another. Oh, it was this movie that came out a long time ago. With damn, I forgot his name. The black guy from and it's a whole bunch of black guys in that movie. They cloned Tyrone, but he was the main star in the movie with Jamie Foxx. I forgot his name. They made him out to be a villain in this one movie where it was based off a true story though. He was robbing a bank. But you know, again, they made you feel sympathetic for it. I forgot the name of the movie and I forgot the reason why he was robbing the bank. Another good example of they painted him as a villain. In the movie, he's portrayed as a villain, but outside we see him as a father trying to do what's right. John Q. That man held a whole hospital hostage, and he said, "My son, y'all gonna help my son." I ain't gonna lie, that movie gets me every time I watch it because I think they said he got sentenced to death after that. But every time they do the part where he passing by in the car and he do a little flex and he do that, and I'm like, "Damn, his son living." But you know, he was one of those, I gotta be the villain in this story, and I don't care because my son is gonna be all right. Especially in all he again, that was another prime example. He went out knowing everybody gonna see me as bad. Some people, not everybody, other people seen him as a good person, but you know, this is also around the time where it was still a little racist, I think, around this time. It's always racist, but you know, but he was like, as long as my son is alive and my son also knows what I did for him, that's all that mattered to me. Make me the villain. I'll be the most villainous person this world has ever seen. But my son knows I'm not. Yeah, those stories be hitting right there. Those really be hitting. I like stories like that. David Ruffin is still killing me though, because that popped up out of nowhere, but it was so true. Like that man just approach was bad. You know who was a villain? Joe Jackson. And y'all about to see it again. Plug Michael Jackson movie coming out next week, April 24th. Y'all go to theaters, see it. Get your glove on, get your sparkle on, get out there. Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. Jenkins. Get out there and watch that movie. I'm hearing it's good. I'm hearing it's real good. And I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. So y'all know I'm gonna go see that. Also in the chats, while we talking about it, go ahead and put, I guess, to you, who you think in society, I guess, or in any story, was painted as a villain who shouldn't have been painted as a villain, like because they probably did nothing wrong. A lot of y'all think the girl from Obsessed with Beyonce and Idris Elba, the girl that was, you know, trying to kill them was, you know, was it a girl? Yeah, it was a girl. A lot of y'all think she was painted as a villain. She was a good person or whatever because of Idris Elba's actions, whatever y'all think it is, you know, whoever y'all think it is. Dang, now all these movies are clicking for me now, and I'm getting very, very upset. Not too upset though, I don't mind. But again, I'm overall throughout this villain arc that we had for the past, it's been a month because I think I started this at the beginning of, well, no, towards the end of March, and then we coming towards the end of April. But my closing thoughts on this, you know, because we still got time. My closing thoughts on this: it is okay. One thing you got to remember: you can't avoid being the villain in somebody's story. Please remember that. Whether you actually did bad or not, you can't avoid it. Some of y'all need to take accountability though when you are the villain in the story, because you probably did do that shit and it's bad, you know. And a lot of people don't like to take accountability. They don't want to be the villain. They just always want to be good, like they don't do nothing wrong. Y'all do some bad stuff. Y'all do some bad stuff. So you know, It's okay as long as that good outweighs that bad. But no, like one thing you should take away from this is, yeah, you're gonna be a villain, and it's all right. But don't go out there and accept it and just mwahaha. Um, also remember, it is okay. It is. He said, "I did that. I did that shit." Just going out there taking accountability. Did you? Did you punch a hole in my window? Yep, and I did. Like, what you gonna do, dog? That's crazy work right there. Um, um, it's also okay to just sympathize with villains. It's also okay to see the humanity in some of these villains sometimes because, I mean, most writers do that. Most people do that. But even in certain, it's a little harder in reality, but it depends on the situation. You know, there's been plenty of conversations I had with people when they tell me about past relationships or past issues with family or friends or whatever, and I'm hearing hearing them how they're painting this person as a villain, but I'm like, but what I want to know everything. Like, tell me every detail because there's got to be a reason. To me, I'm always like, there's got to be a reason why this is happening. There is no way this is just, and that's also an issue for me sometimes. But there is no way you just doing this for the love of the game, for the hell of it, just to get your rocks off. You out here punching people's kids in the park just because? Nah, there got to be a reason. It had to be a reason. You had to get punched at one point as a baby, and they told you this story. So now you said, I'm going to be the baby puncher. I don't know. Damn, I'm getting wild out here. It's the Hennessy. I would never say this if I wasn't drinking Hennessy. But there's always a reason. There's always a reason for why somebody's doing that, and hear it out because it might help you understand it. It might let you, take this as you will. It might help you forgive somebody for stuff that they did sometimes if you're a forgiving type. Not forget, just forgive so you can keep pushing and do what you got to do. But never forget. Like, don't forget. Don't forget. Nah, I ain't gonna forget because if you forget, that person gonna come back and do the same shit again. And at this point, they ain't a villain no more. You just stupid. Nah, but like be open-minded sometimes. The next scary movie you watch, the next superhero movie you watch, the next thriller that you watch, sit there and think, if you can, if they give that type of information, like, yo, why is Michael Johansson doing this right now? Like, why did he decide to hold 5 people hostage in a phone booth? How did he even do this? How is this possible? This is literally physically impossible, but he got it going on. Why is he doing this? I want to know. You'd be surprised, like the backstories, and you might feel bad, like, oh my goodness, he's doing this because of whatever. I remember when this happened to me. Just don't go out there doing it now, but it's really yeah, they just people, dog. They just people. They just people. They crazy people, but they people. They people. Because you got to remember, all those people were once. They once probably, I wouldn't say thought like us, but they were all at some point where we were too. Just minding their business, enjoying life, doing whatever. But something happened, something got them, and now they're this evil person. Now they're doing this. Now they're running the country with a toupee. Like they're doing they're talking all this mess about other races. They don't give a damn. They shutting down, bro. They doing whatever they want. Like, but this is it's a lot of people out there that it's some now I will say some of them I can't be too open-minded about it because it's like, why would you do that? Why are you doing that? Why would you do this? Why would you kidnap these people? Why would you sell these people? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why are you murdering these people? Why are you doing that? Nah. Some of that I cannot. No, I kind of draw a line. I'm drawing a line. Like you doing a little too much. Was you like were you a normal person before? I don't think you were, because a normal person would have went and did this. But yeah, man. Don't hate on the villains just yet. But again, not all villains are like this. Sometimes they are written, sometimes they're drawn out, sometimes they're directed to, or by directed, I mean, in a movie. Sometimes they're just made just to be a pure, straight up villain. Nothing but villainry. I don't care. It's all evil. Evil, 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 evil. Evil. Like that's where they be at. That's where they be at. But I think I can bring it to a close because I'm damn near hitting the 2 hour mark. It's been an hour and 45 minutes, has it not? I think it has. I think it has. But hopefully I'll be back to do another live and we'll get on some different topics, some different subjects. Hopefully I have some people on here. Wish I had some of my people on here. But I know they all busy. My co-hosts, they're all busy, and it's okay. I'm glad, Ricky. I appreciate you for being here with me, dog. Because I feel like I was talking to myself for almost 2 hours straight. But y'all drop, even if you're just now joining up or you watched this whole time, make sure y'all like and subscribe, please. Hit that little bell so you can get all these notifications. Follow Deshay on all her social medias. They're all on this page, but you can also, Carter Love Network on Instagram, so you can keep up with this and with us, all of us, because we're all on there. Even on the website, you can find us there. You can find me on Instagram too. Some of y'all know. And if you don't, it's Cali_J17. No, I'm not the other Cali. That's just the name I had since high school on my Instagram. So I kept it. I ain't changed it. But in the chat, if y'all joining up or y'all still here, y'all listening, put in what y'all want to hear about next. I'm always open to talk about a lot of other stuff. Trust me. But everybody knows my department is movies, shows, music, and comics and fantasy. That's my area. But I'm never afraid to talk about anything else. We'd always talk about a lot of stuff. Whatever y'all want any of us to talk about, any of the co-hosts or the host herself, whatever it is, but make sure y'all always tune in on Fridays, because this is where we're gonna be at. Make sure y'all always got y'all drink, because that's where we'll always be at. I slammed that cup pretty damn hard. My bad. And I hope y'all enjoyed tonight. I know I was a little everywhere with it. Again, I think this is my first time second time hosting. No, this is my first time hosting by myself for the whole 2 hours almost. I just realized that, because I think the first time I hosted, I was just on here by myself. And then Shay came in a little bit later, so I wasn't by myself like that. But again, I appreciate y'all for joining up tonight as we talked about villains. And remember, if you run into any villains after you've watched this, think about it. Take a second. Ding. Just be like, they might be going through some stuff. And have an open ear. Is that what you said? You said have an open ear? Yeah, open ear. But I thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope y'all had fun. I hope this make y'all look at some of these villains differently when you watch your movies, when you watch your shows, whatever it is. And I hope y'all, join me next time around. Invite people through here. Hop in the comments. Talk it up. Share it up with me. Don't let me sit here like I'm talking about myself to myself. Although I am. But I did enjoy this villain arc that I had. This was my villain arc, I guess you can call it. My season to be a villain. Because I was being a little bit of villain behind the scenes in real life, not like that. I wasn't doing nothing notoriously bad, but I had to be the villain in a few stories lately. So it happens. Things happen. Things happen, and that's okay. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna say my closing affirmation. I don't know our co-host one to the T. I'm gonna write it down one of these days so I can just start repeating it at the end with her. But guys, remember, I know one thing she always says, remember, you are always worthy of not being a villain. Nah, you guys are very worthy, and just remember that. Remember that. But from me, remember, y'all can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That's the motto I always stick by. And also, you can do all things, just don't do them things through Christ. uh, and just remember to be true to yourself. Stay yourself. Always be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you to be anything else but yourself. Because you are him, you are her, you are they, them, whatever you is. You are that person, and you're gonna remain that person, and stand on that, because you can make a difference out here. And look at the path you chose and the path you took, and look where you are, and look at where you could have been. You're an amazing person. Remember that. Y'all all amazing. But until next time, thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all have a great night. If y'all still out there drinking, keep drinking, smoking, keep smoking, chilling with your family, keep chilling. If you're driving somewhere, be safe. If you're getting off of work, be safe getting home, whatever it is. Y'all have a great Friday. Love you all, and y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Peace.